So welcome and thank you for taking the time to join. What we're going to focus on today is how to turn LinkedIn outreach from something that feels inconsistent into something that behaves like a system. So you are already doing outreach and invites, messages, and follow-ups. So you're generating activity basically, but the missing piece might be control. So you don't know what is working and what is not, and what to change next. So today, what I want to show you is how to take the exact same outreach activity and turn it into something that is measurable, diagnosable, and ultimately scalable. So instead of hoping outreach works, you actually understand how to make it work. I'm also going to walk through the key areas that makes this possible, so you can clearly see what to track, what to adjust, and how to improve results step by step. And alongside that, I will be showcasing our new customizable dashboard. This is where everything comes together. So you will be able to add more widgets, create your own widgets, and fully customize the dashboard to match how you want to work. So you can focus only on the data that matters to you, removing anything unnecessary, and build a view that gives you a complete clarity over your outreach performance. By the end of this, you won't just understand the theory, you will see how to implement it in a way that it fits your workflow. So why most LinkedIn outreach fails? The biggest mistake most teams make is that they optimize for activity instead of outcomes. So they look at things like how many invites did we send or how many messages went out, but those numbers don't tell you anything about effectiveness. So two teams can send the exact same number of messages and get completely different results. The difference is not effort, it's understanding. So without structured data, you cannot see cause and effect. So when something underperforms, you don't know why, and you don't know why, you cannot improve. The shift we are making here is very simple, but very powerful. We move from doing outreach to managing a system. And in a system, every step is measurable. Think of outreach like a series of filters. At each stage, people either move forward or drop off. And each drop-off tells you something specific. When you start thinking this way, you stop guessing and start diagnosing. Now let's break down the outreach funnel. So every campaign follows mostly the same path. So you invite someone, they accept or not, they may reply, that reply might be positive, and it may lead to a meeting and then eventually a deal. So what's important here is that each stage is answering a different question. Acceptance is asking, did we choose the right person? Reply is asking, did we say something relevant? Positive response is asking, does this actually matter to them? Meeting is asking, is it worth their time? And the deal is asking, is this a real opportunity? So instead of treating outreach as one thing, we break it down into layers. So this is the funnel benchmark and interpretation. This is where a lot of teams go wrong. Like they look at metrics, but they don't interpret them correctly. So each metric is not just a number, it's a signal. Acceptance rate is not just a percentage, it's feedback on your targeting. Reply rate is not just engagement, it's feedback on your message. Positive responses is not just interest, it's feedback on your value proposition. So what we are doing here is turning metrics into insights. When you see performance drop, you don't panic, you diagnose. So if acceptance is low, you don't rewrite your message, you fix your audience, you think about your audience. If replies are low, you don't change the targeting, you fix your messaging. If replies are low, you don't change targeting of messages. If people reply but don't convert, you fix your offer or your call to action. So this is what makes optimization efficient. You're always solving the right problem. Segmentation, so where growth happens. This is one of the biggest unlocks in outreach. So most teams treat their audience as one group, but in reality, it's made up of many smaller segments. Different roles, industries, and company sizes behave differently. So some segments might have double the reply rate than others. But if your average is everything together, you will never see that. So the goal is to break performance down and identify where things actually work. This is a very simple but powerful framework. So if you take acceptance rate and reply rate, plot them together, this gives you immediate clarity. So if acceptance is high, but replies are low, your targeting is good, but your message is weak. If replies are high, but acceptance is low, your message is strong, but your targeting needs work. And when both are high, that's where you scale. So instead of guessing where to improve, you can see it visually. Let's check if somebody's in the waiting room. No? Okay, let's go back. Network levels performance. I always talk about this in all my onboardings. So it's a very important layer. LinkedIn is not a cold channel, so it's a truth-based network. People are more likely to respond if they are closer to your network. So second-degree connections will usually outperform third-degree connections. This means you should not treat all leads the same. You adapt your approach based on how warm the connection is. Response quality and sentiment. So this is where we move beyond vanity metrics. A reply is not success. A positive reply is. Launchpad allows you to break responses into positive, neutral, and negative. And you can do it by using AI, or you can do it manually. This is critical because it tells you whether you're attracting the right kind of attention. So you want to optimize for conversion that actually turns into opportunities. Now we add another layer, behavior. So how quickly someone replies and tells you a lot. So fast replies usually mean high relevance. Slow replies or no replies can indicate low priority or weak messages. So you can also track now with the new customizable dashboard the trends over time, and I'm going to show it later on. If performance declines, then usually means your audience is saturated or your message is losing effectiveness. Connecting outreach to revenue. This is where most outreach strategies fall apart. They stop at replies, but replies don't generate revenue. So meetings and deals do. So you need to track how replies convert into meetings and how meetings convert into deals. This is how you connect outreach to business impact. And all this data is only useful if you can actually interpret it. And this is where the new customizable dashboard comes in. You structure your data in a way that makes it easier to see patterns and make decisions. Without that structure, you're looking only at numbers. What Launchpad does is bring everything together. It combines LinkedIn, email, outreach, and even email. So it tracks a full funnel. It includes segmentation and behavioral insight. So instead of looking at fragmented data, you get a complete picture. Now, widget system. So this is where things become flexible. So you're not locked into one view. With the new customizable dashboard, you can build dashboard based on what you want to understand, and I'm going to showcase it immediately. And each widget is a tool, so you combine them to answer a specific question. You have the single metric widgets, which show you scale, how much activity is happening. You have the progress rings, where it shows efficiency and how well the activity performs. Bar charts allow you to compare different metrics or segments. Donut charts show you distribution and how results are split. Line charts will show you trends over time. And we have dual rings as well, showing relationships between metrics, especially conversion. And there's an optional, again, I'm going to showcase it immediately, text notes where you can add a text. Especially it's relevant for agencies that have multiple seats. So each widget is not just visual, it's a different way of thinking about your data. There's two types of metrics, volume and rate. So volume tells you how much, rate tells you how well. You need both because high volumes with low performance is waste, and high performance with no volume limits growth. What makes the full funnel visualization powerful is that you are not just taking one part of outreach. You're tracking the entire system from the first interaction all the way to revenue. So this removes blind spots. And let me just skip to the platform, and comes the more interesting part where we apply all these theories. So with the campaigns, we start with the basics. As I mentioned, don't forget to enable sentiment analysis. So all the conversations from the inbox are marked with a positive, negative, or neutral sentiment. Okay. Don't forget, as I forgot probably in these campaigns. Now, under the campaign section, you have the following data. You have the acceptance rate, response rate, and positive response rates broken down into campaigns. And then you can track overall the success of your campaigns. You can see you can have like, well, these are quite high acceptance rates. The average is around 30%. And this is a fresh campaign, which it shows one positive response only, but I think there was more, but I didn't mark them. I just added the sentiment analysis today because I forgot. So this is the data available here. Now, under the dashboard, you can see the progress, the output, but more important is the insights. And what changed? You can customize the dashboard. So you can keep acceptance rate overall to see it, overall reply rate, response count. Yes, I mostly send out messages, fairly a few emails, and I don't send invite messages at all. All my invites are blank. So this is why it shows you where the response is coming from, but it depends on what you have active as well. Now, this is an important metric, the average positive response rate across all your campaigns, all your active campaigns. Now, mine is 12%. I should be happy around 20%. As I've shown you in the campaign sections, I have variations between campaigns, and I have a fresh campaign. Send response sentiment, again, for this period, it breaks it down. You can also have the meetings booked and the deals closed. And then we have the lanes plus inbox messages, top acceptance campaigns, top reply campaigns, and top positive replies campaigns. But I don't really need these metrics. So what I do is I go to customize, and I'm not interested in latest inbox messages. I'm not top acceptance campaigns. I can view them on my campaign section, so I can remove these. Come on, remove it. Let's see if it works. Top reply. Let's do a refresh. Maybe it's my mouse. Okay, let's go and customize. Okay, it should not be a problem. Okay, top reply campaigns. Again, I can check these in my campaign section. And top, well, this is what I'm interested in, the top positive reply campaigns. I'm not interested in the last 24 hours and meeting books. Yes, we can leave it here, but I'm mostly focusing on response sentiment. So how are my campaigns performing across a period of time? What is my positive response rate? What are my top positive reply campaigns? I can keep the top reply rate campaign as well. And then I can add more widgets. And one is, which we talked about, the network distribution. So here it shows you how many, so when you were fetching the profiles, what were the network distance? Was it second degree, first degree, or third degrees? In the moment you fetch them for this period, in this period. So as you can see, I focus only on second degree connections. I will never ever have third degree connections. Obviously, my offering can be really wide. I can go really wide, targeting almost any industry which offers B2B services. So it's easy for me to pick. But I would rather suggest do small campaigns of second degree connection and start growing your network, then go for only third degree connections or mix them up. Especially if you can create campaigns around 50, 100, or 200 prospects, but you can focus on second degree connections, then this is what we suggest. As an agency, again, you can check the performance, like what you're actually doing, and if you see that your third degree connections are really high, that will explain the third degree connection fetches are really high. That will explain why your acceptance rate is a bit lower. Now, under the widgets, you also have the email response rate. Obviously, if you're running email, delivery rate for email, campaign overview, how many campaigns running, and how many unread positive replies I have. But then this becomes interesting. So I have the funnel where it shows me how many profiles are reloaded in my campaigns, how in my campaigns for the last month, how many viewed, how many invited, how many accepted, and how many replied. So it gives you like a quick picture overall. Also, network distance performance. Obviously, in my case, since I only focus on second degree, it will show only second degree. But if you focus on others as well, it will show you like what's the distribution between accepted and replies across your network. And then time to reply. This is an important metric as well, because you can track across a period of time, like what's the average time to reply. So it's for mine, and the time to reply is between the acceptance and the reply. So mine is 8 days. I've checked it last month and it was like 7 days. So it's a bit slower. So I can track and maybe adjust my campaigns because it's slow. Then acceptance rate versus reply rate. Again, you can check which campaigns, and we can enhance it a bit. Okay, it's my mouse. I need to press harder. So you can check like this campaign, how it's performing comparing to the other ones, and which campaign is the top right is the best performing. So it gives you like a quick picture which campaign is performing well. So it has a high reply rate and high acceptance rate. And the same with job title distribution. You can see here in the job title performance that the sales titles have the highest acceptance rate and the highest reply rate. So this is a head of sales. We have managing directors, co-founders. So it shows exactly which are the ones which perform better in a quick picture. And industry distribution, again, which industry performs the best. So you can make some decisions on where to focus, especially if you're at the beginning and you go wide with the first campaign, and then you start analyzing the data from the first campaign. And then company size performance, again, it applies if you are at the beginning and you're testing. I know for sure I'm focused mostly on 11 to 50. This is why I have the higher acceptance and reply rates there. But again, if you're at the beginning, you can compare it. If you go wide, for the first few campaigns, you can compare it and make some data-driven decisions there. And you can also create your custom widgets. So you have single metrics, progress string, horizontal bars, vertical bars, donut charts, line charts, drawing, and you can even add a text note. Now, you can go through and just select the criteria. So for example, for horizontal bars, I can go LinkedIn invites and LinkedIn messages. Okay. I can go any vertical combination you can create based on what you need. Okay. So if I go for invites, for example, I can see here LinkedIn invites, positive sentiment, and how many accepted. So it gives me a picture of the funnel. So I can do it like this. Do a ring as well, LinkedIn invites versus positive sentiment, the percentage. So it's a clear indicator. And then donut charts, again, you see an indication. So based on what you need to see, you can combine these the data in a chart, and again, you can add a text note. Once you've done it, you just select it. Just don't forget to give it a name, and then save the widgets. And then once you're happy with it, again, customize your dashboard, remove what you don't need, customize it like the view you want to have, and just save it, save the layout, and this is what you're going to have. Obviously, not like I did it now for the sake of demonstration, but organize it in a way like I would organize, like having, especially focusing around the sentiment analysis and the performances. Also, you have on the ICP insights where you can have everything presetted. So you just go for positive responses, and it actually shows you everything about the positive responses, like company size distribution, industry distribution, and title distribution and location. So in locations as well, you can see where the focus is. Mostly UK, a few Europe, and then United States. Yeah, let's go back to the presentation to wrap it up, and then we're going to you have the opportunity to ask questions. So the real advantage here is not just having more data, it's being able to act faster and more accurately. So you can identify problems quickly, understand them clearly, and fix them efficiently. And that's what's create the consistent results. And with the new customer dashboard, you are also able to change it, change the dashboard in a way that you see the information you need quickly. So at the end of the day, outreach success is not about doing more. It's about understanding more. When you understand what works and why, you can scale the right things and eliminate the wrong ones. That's how you turn outreach into a predictable revenue engine. So again, with the Launchpad's new customer dashboard, you can unlock deeper insight, prioritize what matters most, and tailor everything to fit your workflow with custom widgets, helping you make smarter decisions with clarity and confidence. Any questions?
No, actually, no questions, but this was quite useful because I just faced the same thing. We started 2 campaigns, and we have quite of a high rate of acceptance, but very low rate of replies.
Okay.
And even out of the replies, we have, I believe, only 1 positive for the moment.
Okay.
And we also were wondering and trying to understand what something is not working okay. So something we are not doing right, because at such a high rate of acceptance, like in both campaigns, I think in one we targeted 80%, in the other one 50, but mostly all the invites we have accepted, but the replies are not coming in.
So we need to work on the value proposition, on the message. Yeah. Okay. Let's connect. Okay. When you have some time, just book a call in and let's have a look together. Maybe I can share some feedback on that. But again, at least it gives you an insight. Like, okay, so the audience is right. You're on the right path. You're relevant to them. They accept the connection request. It's more about figuring out the testing the message. I know you just started the campaigns like 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago. Was
Yeah,
it?
not even 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah. So again, and with data-driven decisions, the one thing which I missed and I should have added here is we need enough time to make decisions, because if you run a campaign for a week or so, that's not enough time. You have to have volumes, like, well, I would say even at least 200-300 invites went out, and at least all of them to receive you the second step or the third step, to start thinking about pivoting to something else. So it's a bit early for you guys, I believe.
Okay.
But we can still have a conversation next week to go through the campaigns and see if I can share some feedback on those. But yeah, at least I hope you found this helpful, and you rearrange your dashboard. So I'm looking forward when we meet to see how you're going to rearrange your dashboard. Any other questions?
No, actually, because we are, as you mentioned, also we are quite early. I think I have to give it time to
Yeah, give it time,
be able to advance.
and then we can take it from there. Just to give it some time. But one positive in 1 week, especially with the audience I remember you're targeting, I think it's a good sign. So I would not be discouraged.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Anything else for today? Great.
No, not from my side.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thanks
Thank you,
for
everyone.
the presentation. Let me send you some claps. Oh, this is not a clap.
Thank
There
you.
you go. There you go.
Have a wonderful evening, and
You too.
see you soon. Take care.
All the
Bye-bye.
best. Bye bye.